What's up, guys? So this video was a long time coming. I've been wanting to talk about this subject for a long time. I've had quite a few experiences in this community over the last maybe 6 years, so I feel like now I have enough experience and information and just overall viewpoints that will allow me to be really effective in making this video. So this video is about being queer in the fighting game community. I feel like this is a topic that doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it needs to because it's unfortunately swept under the rug, and I'm going to explain why that this needs to be spoken about and talked about, because there are a lot of issues within many fandoms, but the fighting community is one that I personally am a part of way more than any other one than I can possibly say, because I actually make content, I actually go to events, I write about it, I talk about it, I'm friends with people in the community, I'm really active in it as much as I possibly can, so I feel like I could definitely speak on it in a very full way than I don't think a lot of people can. So, the fighting community is a community of people who enjoy fighting games on a very high level, as far as like it's one of their passions, it's a hobby of theirs. And the levels to it, you can be very casual, just enjoy playing them. And then there's next level where you're really into like the intricacies of the game itself. And then there's the higher level where you're actually playing in competitive tournaments to seek fame, fortune, and all that good stuff. So within that scope, there are players who are queer. And there are people in the community that are queer as well. And I feel like their voices aren't necessarily always heard. Not saying they need to be all the time, but I feel like there needs to be better acknowledgement that they do exist within this community. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, we're all the same. All that matters is that you know how to play. All I care about is you can play or not." That is a really great sentiment, but the behavior that comes out of a lot of these situations that happen within the fighting community as it relates to queer people would lead me to believe that is not always the case. So let's talk about certain instances where this comes up. Alright. On a very casual level, let's go in stages. On a very casual level, you don't really hear a lot about queer and all that stuff until a few things pop up. Number one, if there's any mention of the character Poison from Street Fighter / Final Fight, you will definitely get all of the crazies and the whatnots come out the woodwork with their transphobic rhetoric. Oh, she's a trap. Oh my god, she's a trap. Oh my god, I'm tied to a trap. Oh my god. And this is a lot of like this comes from like straight cisgender males that happen to have this issue. So unfortunately, they use a lot of like really harmful and negative and toxic language when they talk about trans people. So you hear stuff like the word tranny a lot in forums, on Facebook. Like I'm in a couple of groups and they just use the word tranny just all outright. Oh, it's a tranny, it's a trap, it's a trap, it's a tranny, trap, tranny. Like they use those words interchangeably to describe, trans women. You don't hear a lot of stuff about trans men, and that's probably because there's not that many trans male characters in fighting games. But as far as like, trans female characters, like you hear about, that's when the men pop up, and a lot of them haven't come to grips with the fact that they are attracted to trans women, and they have to find a way to denigrate trans women to make themselves feel better, like, oh, it's just a trap, or oh, it's a guy with a dick, it's a girl with a dick. Like, it's just like these really toxic things, and this is said out loud. This isn't just stuff like you just hear in the background, or just stuff you're hearing under. Like, this is stuff said in public, on public sites, on public forums, even sometimes in tournaments. Like, you hear it all the time. Now, when I personally see it, I always try to like say something that push back on it or challenge, like, okay, don't say the word tranny, or could you not say the word tranny? Could you please refrain from using the word tranny? That's really harmful and transphobic. Or you say that. Like, I do it all the time. Like, I've become more proactive in doing it because I feel like as an ally to trans women, I definitely need to be as vocal as I possibly can to you know, defend them when people are being complete assholes towards trans women. And that's when you get like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You get all these like really stupid things that come out of their mouth and stuff. It's just really gross. And it's really harmful because there's a lot of trans women and trans men who are a part of the FGC. And when you see stuff like that, it makes you not even want to be a part of it. It makes you not even want to go to events and stuff. And it just matters if you could play. Yeah, that's great and all, but if you say the word like tranny and stuff and you're saying like really terrible things about trans women while secretly being attracted to them and going inside their DMs and their inbox and inboxing them and stuff, because that's a thing too, which I'll get to later. But yeah, it's just really, it sets a really bad tone. It makes you not even want to go to events and be a part of the FGC because you feel like the transphobic nature of it is so embedded in the community where it feels like you're singled out immediately if you go to any of these events, or if you go on these forums, or if you go to these groups and stuff and whatnot, or if you go on the internet, or if you just go on anywhere that has a concentration of the FGC, you feel like you can't be a part of it because you are queer or trans, especially trans. I feel like the trans women and men in the FGC have the worst time with this issue because they are the ones that are most attacked most frequently than, you know, lesbians or gay men or bisexual men. Actually, I'll touch on bisexual men too. I feel like they have another struggle within the framework of the FGC. But yeah, let's talk about the next level. I alluded to it earlier, but the next level of this, which is like going to events and stuff, which is more of the intermediate level of the FGC, going to events, participating, actually going to tournaments, actually participating in tournaments, and, you know, all that stuff. Now, there are a lot of trans women players who play in tournaments, and the worst thing that happens if you see a trans girl playing a fighting game on stream at a tournament, the first thing they say is, oh, of course she's good because she's actually a guy, or, oh, of course she has a dick, of course she's good at this fight game. Like all these like the idea that a woman is only good because she was formerly assigned a gender that wasn't the one that she believes is hers, like, that's just so disgusting. Like, I don't like when that comes up. And I'm just seeing, like, okay, those the stream monsters. You can't do anything about those. Stream monsters are actual people, too, who live in day-to-day life. So it's not like they're just, like, concentrated to one place. They live in everyday life. So these same people are doing it probably have those same views. They just find another avenue to talk about it out loud with other idiots who share the same sentiment. And I actually saw this live and in color when one of my friends, Pink Diamond, she is a Killer Instinct / Tekken now / Soul Calibur player, and she was on stream playing Tekken. She was doing really well. I think she beat Pokechop in Tekken 7. And the stream and the comment section was like, oh, of course she did it because she's actually a good dude, or oh, she has a dick, blah blah blah. And it was really, like, I felt a certain way from just reading that. I know she has way thicker skin than I'll ever have, because she deals with that on a daily basis with men being just complete trash to her, even though she's really good. And the whole like, oh, it doesn't matter as long as you can play the game, that's all I care about. No, it's more than just that, and it's really gross when you see it. And I always try to speak up for that whenever I see it, because it's just like I have to be a person that's proactive about it. On the next scale is when you're sponsored. We're like a really big sponsored player. The only really big sponsored player I know that's queer would have to be Sonic Fox and Ricky Ortiz on that high level. That they're like the ones that's like winning all these big tournaments, stuff like that. And people still do that to Ricky Ortiz to this day. They still like make dumbass comments about her and whatnot. Like, oh, she should be a dude, or blah blah blah, and just say a lot of stupid shit. And it's so disgusting. Like, I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And she's an incredible player. Like, she is, and she's so sweet and nice and giving. I remember we had met her at Comic Breaker last year. She was so cool and nice and chill. She was like, "Hey, just have fun. That's all this is about. Like, don't get so stressed about the frame data and all that stuff." Like, she was just really chill and cool and nice and so welcoming. And it was a great experience meeting her. And a lot of these dudes are just so stupid and transphobic. It's disgusting. I hate it so much. Like, it's such a challenged to be around them when they're acting like that, because it takes away from the experience that I'm having at these events. It takes away from the experience of being on these forums to discuss fighting games, because it turns to something completely different, and I hate it. Let's see. Oh, I think the other scope of this is that there's a huge population of gay men within the FGC that go unreported. There's a lot of gay men in the FGC that just don't say anything. They're not DL, quote unquote, but they're not like openly gay within the FGC because of the homophobia that does exist. Like using the word faggot all the time just grinds my gears when I see straight cisgender men using the word faggot just so haphazardly, like it's okay. And I have to check them too, like, hey, don't use the word faggot. Like, chill out now. Don't say that. And it's such a normalized culture of homophobia to where, like, oh, I'm not homophobic. I'm like, yeah, you kind of are, because you're using these words that are used to hurt people who are, gay. So that's still a form of homophobia in some way. And homophobia is not being afraid of gay people. It's the act of discriminating against gay people. Like, they've changed, the definition has to be changed, because I'm not afraid of homos. Like, that's stupid. Like, we have to redefine these words to make sense for our day and age. And that's definitely what we had to do for homophobia and transphobia. Like, people aren't scared of trans women and trans men. They're just discriminatory and they're prejudiced against these people. So the word faggot, I am so tired of seeing in the FGC. Like, I see it so much. I've even seen top players use the word outwardly. I've seen top players be transphobic to other players and stuff like that, or just all this stuff on Twitter. It's really gross. A lot of top players are pretty transphobic and pretty homophobic, and it's just like, ew. And what I want to get across in this video is that there's a huge amount of people who are LGBTQ plus who want to be a part of the FGC, but they don't feel comfortable even going to events. They don't feel comfortable being on forums. They don't feel comfortable even being associated with this, because they just know that the boys club of the FGC is so strong and tight-knit to where a lot of them don't know how to interact with people who are queer. And it's unfortunate, because there's a lot of talent in the FGC of the queer people that want to be a part of FGC, but they go unnoticed, or they just don't go to events, or they just don't show up because they're really not comfortable being around this type of thing. And the normalization of homophobia in the FGC has got to go somewhere and go away forever, because it is so, at times it gets really challenging for me to even go to events, because I feel like if you do say that you're gay, everybody treats you differently. Even though they're saying, oh, it's all because of the way you play. If you play good, I don't care if you're gay or straight. Like, that's the idea, but that's not how it's practiced. Like, the actual practice, if it only mattered how you played, then people would be more respectful of people who were queer in the FGC. So they wouldn't use words like tranny, they wouldn't use words like faggot to describe things. Like, they just wouldn't do that, because they have respect. The respect level isn't quite there yet, and it's going to take some time before we get there. But we have time. I'm probably not going anywhere. I'm pretty deep-seated in the FGC now after a couple of years, so I'm going to events all the time. But I just hope that we come to a place. I think visibility of queer players will definitely help a lot more, because people can challenge people. Like, having Sonic Fox right now, he's kind of like the biggest top like FGC player right now in the FGC, and he's queer, and he's openly queer, and he's a furry too. And it's great having him, because he's like a good beacon of, hey, we exist, we do play fighting games, and we're really good. So hopefully that will help more queer people become more invested in FGC. I just think that the environment needs to be a little more hospitable to people who are queer, because right now it's kind of trash. Like, the stuff I've seen with people are just using the F word and just so haphazardly using the T word and just being gross. Ugh. Blah. One last thing. So I've noticed that straight men who are in FGC can be really gross when it comes to women. Like, in general. Like, not like they could be really disgusting towards them as far as like just being like misogynistic and shit. And the way you sexualize and all that stuff you do to women, I have to break it to you, there are gay men doing the exact same thing probably to you. If you are attractive in any shape or form, there's probably somebody like looking at you like they would like do all types of ungodly things to you. And we just have a better way of dealing with our desires and stuff, because of course society makes it taboo to even do that in public. But also gay men have a sense of boundaries, so we don't cross those boundaries despite the fact of how we may feel on the inside about some of these people who are in the FGC. So I think that if we can do it, you can do it too. So you should definitely be more mindful of how you treat women in FGC, because there's definitely a man probably want to treat you the same way. And it doesn't matter how big or strong you may think you are, there's someone big and stronger and gayer who will not allow you to use that as a means to protect yourself from that. So yeah, just want to throw that out there. Like, yeah, someone sexualizing you probably right now. If you're attractive in FGC, someone's probably looking at you like, oh my god, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, just want to make it out there to people who may be watching this, and if you feel like you don't want to be a part of, you want to be a part of the FGC, but you don't feel comfortable yet, you can actually inbox me or find me on Twitter and stuff like that. There's a whole community that I'm helping to build with queer people who want to be a part of the FGC. So yeah, hopefully you can find us and we will connect and become a bigger, more powerful rainbow coalition of fighting game players. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Have you even known what the FGC was? Well, hopefully this video was informative, and hopefully we can help make the FGC a better place for everybody. Alright, thanks for watching. Please like, share this video with everybody. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'm probably going to make some more. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.